So we're going to work on putting some gutters up on the shed. We're trying to collect as much rainwater as we can. We don't really filter it and drink it or anything. We're actually using it for our orchard. We've got some wildflowers out there. We're going to be putting some bees out, so we want to make sure they have enough. We live in northern Arizona, so it's still pretty dry up here. We get, I think, about 13 inches of rain and snow combined precipitation every year. So we're going to collect everything we can. We're using these are old olive barrels. I think they come in 55 and 60 gallons, and they have a great little spigot at the bottom so you can run a hose to it. We ran one already off of our smaller shed over here, and we did aluminum, so I decided to try and use vinyl on this one because the aluminum just cuts. It's pretty sharp, and you need tin snips and things like that. And so these are pretty easy to put together. So I got the components, which is pretty much the gutters, the end caps. Just kind of flip it around. When you buy an end cap, it actually comes with both sides, so you just have to kind of break it apart, put one end cap in, and then these just kind of slide into place. You can see, if you zoom in there, that's kind of where the screw goes in for screwing it into the shed that itself. And I'll show you real quick. They're actually pretty easy to put together. I'll put a couple of these in, and then we're going to get to putting them up. So you just kind of take these, just like this, and they slide right in, and hold it in place, and hold it open just like that. So you can just take that and slide it down. Give yourself a couple of feet in between each one. I'll just put a couple in here, and then I'm going to pause the video and start to put it up and show you how to connect two 8-foot pieces together, because our particular shed is 16 feet long, so I need two on each side, and we are collecting rainwater off of our metal roof from each side. So again, this is kind of what they look like. I'm just going to spread them out pretty evenly so that they will support up on the shed, and then they're pretty much going to angle. I'm exaggerating the angle, but they're going to angle down this way, and I'm going to run them over. They will end in one of these and have a downspout that will come down and just kind of punch right in, actually this way, into here, and that will collect our rainwater. So we're going to stop, and I'll start putting some things up and kind of show you the process. So we managed to get the gutter up. There's a seam right here in the middle that's kind of a bear, and I'll tell you what you need to do is you slide the inside piece in between the two, and then you snap the outer piece on. These gutters, by the way, made in Canada, pretty nice. But this whole system snapped together pretty easily. So we put that piece on, and by the way, I said 8-foot pieces. They're not. They're actually 10-foot pieces. So what we did here toward the end was add a downspout and a cap at the end. My wife's up there doing a little silicone just in case. It's actually seems like it's pretty watertight, but just in case we want to add a little bit extra, because if we get a good downpour, we don't want the end caps popping out. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy to do. I'm going to attach the downspout now, and when it rains or snows, we should be collecting water. Okay, so we've got the gutters on two of the sheds. We've got our solar shed, and then we've got our bathhouse shed. As I may have mentioned in the past, I travel quite a bit for work, so I'll leave for about a week and come back. My dogs are fighting, so you're going to have to kind of work with it. So we left for about a week. We had about 3 days of rain. Grand total was about 1/4 of an inch of rain. And so on our solar shed over here, it's about 55 square feet. We got, from just that little bit of gutter, we got about 50 gallons of water in that container back there. And the one where we showed you the build on the bathhouse up here, you can see it. There's about 96 square feet just on this one side. I have not put the gutter up on the other side yet, but that 96 square feet, in that 1/4 inch is that 0.22 inches of rain. We managed to fill this entire container, which is 55 or 60 gallons. There's two different sizes you can buy. So a quarter of an inch of rain gave us a ton of water. We get, where we are in northern Arizona, about 12 to 13 inches. So you're talking about just from these two surfaces, an inch a month, let's call it, on average. So times 4, looking at about just these couple of surfaces, maybe 200 gallons of water every single month. Which is substantial. You can run a toilet with that. You can do some small showers. We're actually going to be working on our orchard, our flowers, our beehives, things like that with this water. But we have more collection surface areas that we're going to be putting up right now. Again, we only have maybe 150 total square feet. So with the amount of rain in a desert climate, that's still substantial. It's working out pretty good. And again, we're just using it for our plants, for the foliage, things like that. We're not treating it and drinking it, things like that. So if we get there, we'll let you know.
So I did the math wrong. It's actually 400 gallons a month. But this is just a time lapse of us doing the other side. You can see just putting it together. It's pretty easy. Just make sure everything fits. It's easier to do when it's windy if you're on the ground instead of on the ladders. And it was super windy when we put this all together. Then we just done our measurements, cut it all down, got everything ready, and next scene you'll see us up on top of the roof putting it together. Again, very simple to do, really good products. It's more expensive than the metal stuff, but it puts together really easily, and it doesn't leave bloody wounds like the metal stuff does. You'll see here also the finished product here in a minute. And this is just kind of us finishing up with the caulk and things. But I'll show you finished product, and then I'll show you the barrels. We bought the barrels at Cal Ranch, one of our favorite stores. They're like $40, and they're 55. They're actually 58 gallons. We did the math.